Welcome everyone to the podcast. Today, it is just me and Darkwave today. As you can see, this is going to be a smooth podcast. So,
I'm here.
oh yeah, because you just went silent. You know I don't like silence on here, man. It makes me creeped out, man. I just think I'm gonna have a killer right behind me.
Well, you were doing your introduction, sir.
Hey, usually you guys introduce yourselves, right? I don't be like, fuck you, right?
You usually give us the cue to do that, sir. You just kept talking, so I said, okay, he's obviously getting his point across.
Welcome to the podcast, everybody. And I will be fixing that up. It's a good Saturday, and I would like to say wrestling for the last week has not been that great when it comes to WWE. And I'm here to say what the fuck is happening. First things first, let's start with WrestleMania. Alright? Because WrestleMania is still ringing in my head. I don't know. Which one was better? Which night was better to you? Night 1 or 2?
1, easily.
Night 1 was so much better than night 2. It didn't even make any sense. But, you know, people like their matches. I had somebody try to tell me that night 2 was better. Night 2 was better, and I looked at him and said, no fucking way you think night 2 is good. It wasn't even close to being good. It was just a shitty pay-per-view on night 2. It just hammered home that if all of these matches came on at the same time on the same night, it would have been it would have been so bad. Unfortunately, because of this, we're getting WrestleMania Payback. Why the fuck is the name of the pay-per-view WWE WrestleMania Payback? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Or Backlash. What's it called? Backlash or Payback?
WrestleMania Backlash.
We're getting WrestleMania Backlash. And as Spirit lovingly put out when she was pay attention to everything, that shit is quite possibly going to be straight rematches, which is not good.
I mean, we already got Bobby Lashley versus McIntyre again, so there you go.
Wait a second.
Yeah,
Wait. That was already confirmed?
You didn't watch Monday Night Raw, sir?
No, I did not.
Then do your job. You're not doing your job, sir.
I didn't want to, man. I just heard it was a shitty.
That's not my that. I don't care if you don't want to or not. We do a wrestling podcast. You've got to watch Monday Night Raw. It's part of the religion. But yes, it's already confirmed. It was a triple threat.
Oh yeah. I did see it. I actually am lying because that's how shitty it was. Why we're getting that match again? It's pointless and doesn't make any sense. But moving on from there, can anybody explain why we getting fucking straight rematches? I don't know. Literally,
who knows?
On Raw and SmackDown, it was straight rematches, and it was so.
Well, it won't be a rematch for Roman Reigns. He's gonna be fighting.
Cesaro.
What's his name? Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, but Cesaro's at Backlash about to go against Seth Rollins again. Clearly,
that'll probably happen on SmackDown.
That better just happen on SmackDown.
I mean, no, I'm saying the match will probably happen on SmackDown for him to fight Roman at pay-per-view. Unless they just bring back Daniel Bryan on Edge, which they either do one or two things. They either have Seth Rollins again at Backlash to build Cesaro some more, or they have Cesaro fight Roman at Backlash. Who knows? Who cares?
Even then, I wouldn't. It's whatever.
It doesn't matter because he's not winning it. So
yeah. Like I would bite this. I'll just rip the man out because it's literally boring at this point. The next match. What else was they talking about? They was talking about that. Looks like the female tag team match is about to get a rematch on that same night, and it just didn't make any sense looking at some of this shit. But we'll see what happens. Next. I want to talk about. Oh wait, no, it may be Brooke and Rose versus the. I don't care anymore.
Let's just go over WrestleMania.
Yeah,
let's just go over WrestleMania.
Night 1, arguably the better night. Let's talk about that first match. It was Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre by technical submission. What did you think of this match before I get into it?
It was fun. I don't have much. I said, like I told you off pocket, I don't have much to say about Mania. It was a decent Mania. Wasn't nothing overly, bad except for a few matches. But I don't have much to say because it wasn't. There was no emotion going into the matches, so you just watch the matches and you're just like, okay.
For me, it wasn't really a great Mania. I'm not gonna lie to you, but this match was.
It wasn't great.
Yeah,
it wasn't great. What made it great? The only thing that made that Mania great was seeing fans again.
Yeah,
that was it. Outside of that, it wasn't a bad Mania. It was definitely better than some.
A lot.
It's just the problem is the build was so bad that I genuinely have not much to say about much of the matches.
Yeah.
Like, my opinions on the matches were just, most of them were, most of the matches anyway, they were okay or they were bad,
Yeah.
But there was no story going into the pay-per-view. So it's just like, okay. What can you do?
I'm not gonna lie to you, the first match, Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre, while it was okay, when like the match itself for me wasn't really, they didn't click again. Even though this is the second time they fought in the ring, I was literally like, okay, that's all I was doing the whole time. Then when Drew McIntyre did that dumb shit and pay attention to MVP when he yelled out the ring, and I was like, why did he get dumb babyface syndrome again? What happened?
That's what we do now.
Dog, I hate that shit. Hey, how do you keep getting dumb babyface syndrome? And so Drew McIntyre, if for anybody who didn't watch it, Drew McIntyre literally stopped what he was doing as he was about to Claymore kick, what's his name? And then continued to go back and Claymore kick him, got hit, and then got freaking put in the hurt lock, and then freaking passed out. And I was like, great. Now Drew McIntyre needs to seriously stop. Then on Monday Night Raw, he wins a triple threat match and he has a rematch after claiming for a rematch. And I was like, you've claimed for a rematch and you don't deserve a rematch. But then they had him beat a triple threat match, which doesn't make any sense because he was one of the losers of WrestleMania. If Braun Strowman made more sense and Randy Orton made more sense to me.
Well, unfortunately, you can't do Randy Orton because Randy Orton's, I guess, a heel. So you can't do two heels. He's already beaten Strowman. We don't want to see that again. And there's no one else. So therefore
Yeah. So moving on from there, the match for me was about 3 stars. And then the ending, I was just like, okay, that just made it worse. We got Natalya and Tamina in the tag team turmoil match, which they won. And I was like, okay, I honestly don't care. And this match was, to me, if I was to really put stars to it, was like a 0, and I didn't give a fuck. The next match was
an embarrassment.
Yeah, it was. It was a complete embarrassment, and it didn't make any sense. The amount of botches from that tag team turmoil match was astonishing. That by like the 4th time, I seriously stopped paying attention. Cesaro versus Seth Rollins, which is arguably one of my favorite matches of the night, actually was a 4-star match. It was actually really fucking good.
And the right man won.
And the right man fucking won. And I actually enjoyed myself during this match. I'd say 4.5 stars.
Seth has new music. What did you think?
I have to hear it again. I'm not gonna lie to you. I have to hear it again because
it's not that bad.
Yeah, Galactic, because Galactic was over my house. He was like, I don't like it at all. And I was like, okay. You have to hear it again. We have to hear it again. The next match was AJ Styles and Almost versus The New Day. Now, I don't know. I don't know if it's just me, but what I think WWE needs to stop doing is getting big men to wrestle like big men, and then being surprised when you put them in a singles match and they suck. So, I'm going to say this now. I did not care for the match, nor did I care for Almost finally getting in the match and him doing absolutely nothing to win the match. And I was just completely confused.
Omos did as much as I expected him to. It was more of a funny thing to me because he just basically squashed New Day by himself.
Exactly.
That was the funniest thing I seen. Which, you know what? At least they've kept him strong, and there was some continuity in his booking, so I can't hate on it. It wasn't a great match by any means, but at least they kept Omos continuity there, and I can't get too mad at that.
Yeah, and from that point, like I said, I was just like, okay, all right. Yeah, at that point, I was just like, okay, that's pretty cool. We'll see, but hopefully he does do better in later matches. But unfortunately, when it came to this match, it was just a giant squash match, and I gave it a 2. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna be real completely honest.
That's about right. That's about right. It was just funny. It was just funny to watch.
Yeah, it was funny to watch and kind of weird. The next match was Braun Strowman versus Shane McMahon. Now, I want to ask you a question, Mr. Darkwave. How do you win a cage match?
You climb out the cage.
You climb out the cage. So why did Braun Strowman not climb out the cage after he threw Shane McMahon off?
Because he wanted to pin him for whatever reason.
Okay, so he couldn't have got back in the ring and beat his ass after that fact?
Look, man. When's the last time someone actually won a cage match by escaping the cage anywhere? If you've noticed, most cage matches end in a pinfall.
You're right. That was dumb. And you know what else was dumb? The fact that Shane McMahon took up a spot on WrestleMania again for some fucking reason.
Because he's the great Shane McMahon.
Yeah, they need to stop that shit. Like, really.
He's Shane McMahon.
Yeah, they need to stop that shit. They need to really, really stop putting Shane on a WrestleMania card and expecting people to be like, this match is fire. This is good shit. Like, no, son. Just take Shane McMahon off the goddamn card and give the match to somebody else, bro. Serious,
it's
man.
Such good shit, man.
Give the match to somebody else, bro. That match was so bad. The match to me is a -1 star. Like, if I could do it, because first of all,
I can't go that far. It was at least a little. I mean, you can't give nothing worse than the Women Tour More match. I can't.
Okay,
that's just being biased. At that point, you're just being biased.
It was 2 stars. It was 2 stars. Because that like, if you want me to be realistic, that Women Turmoil match was -5 stars. So at least
that was just embarrassment. Shouldn't even been on the card.
Yeah. So all right, I'm gonna be realistic and overturn my rating for that one to -5 stars for the Turmoil match, and at least 1 star for the fucking the cage match. Because 1, it's not only fair. 2, I actually rather slightly enjoyed parts of the match, like when he threw Shane McMahon off the cage. I enjoyed that part. Was it a good match? No, not in the slightest. Shane McMahon and Braun Strowman can't put on a good match even if they tried. Guarantee you at WrestleMania Backlash they're gonna have a rematch though. Guarantee. Like, not even joking.
Of course.
And it's gonna be so bad. Then we got Bad Bunny and Damian Priest versus The Miz and Morrison, in which I was entertained.
Hey, hop, hop.
Yeah, I was entertained. But The Miz at this point, I really, if I was The Miz, I'd be like, okay, Vince, I'm sorry. No, I'm not going to fight another celebrity again this year. I'm good. I'm not going to fight.
Isn't this his first time fighting a celebrity?
A celebrity or him being in a WrestleMania squash match. I'm sorry. I'm going to say like a WrestleMania
squash match.
He's been in like 3 WrestleMania squash matches in a row, bro.
What squash match did he have?
Hold up. Let me go back and remember.
He fought Shane McMahon. He fought Shane McMahon. That wasn't a squash.
Am I remembering wrong?
I don't think he had any squash matches, sir. Miz hasn't been squashed at WrestleMania. Not that I know of. Unless I'm missing something. Did he even wrestle last year, right?
Did he wrestle that last
Well,
year?
he was in a tag. He was at the tag team match last year, the ladder match.
Oh
Him and Morrison.
yeah.
So
Actually, no.
he
It
hasn't
was
been in
it
the
was
squad.
Strong Morrison versus Jimmy Uso versus Kofi Kingston, and it was and he wasn't in the match.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Because
It's just
one of them got hurt.
yeah. I'm sorry.
Didn't one of them get hurt or some shit?
Yeah. I apologize for the wrong information that I've put out. It's just the Miz is not. I don't like him on my card half the time.
Mm-hmm. Look, you gotta give Miz and Morrison their credit though, because without them, Bad Bunny doesn't look as good.
Yeah, Bad Bunny did look good. He did the Panama Sunrise. He did a bunch of moves that I was like, oh my god. It's just, I'm gonna say the same thing that I said for Shane McMahon. Did we really have to put Bad Bunny on our card versus an actual talent that it could have built up?
Hey man.
Oh, okay.
This is WWE with the mainstream. You know how they are, man. Mainstream publicity comes first in WWE.
Okay, cool. Bad Bunny, like I said, it was an enjoyable match. It was at least a 3.5 star match. But I mean, what? All right, and then we got the final match of night one, which is Bianca Belair versus Sasha Banks, which was match of the night. Period. It's between that and the Cesaro match, which was the match that I was just genuinely impressed and having fun from bell to bell, going, oh god, this is great wrestling. Oh god, this is pretty good. And considering literally
I
just
don't know which match I like more.
I don't know either. But that was the match. Those are the two matches that closest reminded me of the NXT pay-per-view that just happened a couple of days prior to this WrestleMania, which is sad as shit. Like, I'm sorry for pausing there, but yeah, like that shit was sad to me, and I really did not understand what was so hard for the rest of the card besides the two matches that were there that actually were really fucking good. One was 17 minutes. One was like 30. I was about to say 30. One was like 10, 11 minutes. Let me go look that up.
Yeah, Seth and Cesaro was like 11 minutes.
Yeah, Seth and Cesaro was 11 minutes, and Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks was 17 minutes of fucking a good match. It was fantastic. They tore the house down. I was proud of them, and I was happy for Bianca Belair winning the match. Then
I was not.
Why?
I wanted Sasha to win, to be honest.
Okay.
I didn't want Bianca to win that match. Not yet.
Okay.
Sasha did nothing with the title. So.
I mean, it's Vince McMahon running the company.
Yeah. But that doesn't mean, I mean, not saying Bianca couldn't have won it later, but I think Sasha should have had more mileage on that title reign.
Yeah.
Because honestly, when Bianca won, I just kind of like,
yeah.
That's partially due to the story that was leading into the match. Because the story in the match was fucking terrible.
Yeah, and that's the bad part about all of this WrestleMania. Half the storylines were pointless, didn't make sense, or just bad. And again, it brings us to night two here, or night two, started off with a good opening to their match, but then the rest of the match was just like baffling, which is Randy Orton versus The Fiend. I have no words for what I witnessed, and I am appalled at what I saw. Actually, I'm more appalled than confused. I was wondering why the
Alexa
fuck.
turns heel, I guess.
I'm confused. It was very bad.
I'm surprised that.
And The Fiend lost in a match that he just came back from. Am I tripping?
Mm-hmm. No. They're not tripping. The Fiend lost to one Arthea.
Yeah, after Alexa distracted him. And again, we had baby faces with dumb babyface syndrome. And I'm getting sick and tired of dumb babyface syndrome. It really, really is.
I would still like to know how the Fiend with the babyface and all this, but you know.
Whatever, bro. I don't know and I don't care. All I know is the match and the resulting ending of the match was dumb and built up, wasting our fucking times for months. Even though I liked the opening of the match, the rest of the match was trash. Nia Jackson, Shayna Baszler. Oh yeah, that match was about 1 star. Nia Jackson, Shayna Baszler versus Natalya and Tamina. You had another match with copious amounts of botches, fuck ups, and fucking messes ups. To the point where I was very fucking confused by the end of the fucking match and just angry that we had this on our card. This match was fucking 14 minutes of my life that I will never get back. And I did not care who won. I was just like, why? And the amount of jokes that the fucking Tamina's kneecaps were copious while watching this fucking pay-per-view.
So I'd be lying if I told you I watched this match.
Okay, so the
In
match.
fact, I didn't even watch. I didn't even watch Night 2 live. I purposely waited till Night 2 was over so I can fast forward through all the fluff I didn't want to watch.
Okay, well the match was 0 stars because it was shit. And one of my most disappointing matches next is Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn. I don't know. They could have did better than that, and I feel like they should have did better than that. But the match was so fucking bad, or so it wasn't bad. It just didn't get started, and I know these two can go. So by the time it got about to the fucking 8-minute mark, and Sami Zayn did that little thing he did at Battlegrounds a couple of years back, where he haluva kicked Kevin Owens and put him back on the rope, and then haluva kicked him again. It was an homage to that, but fucking it got countered this time, and I was like, that's pretty cool. Again, the rest of the match, it was just like, yo guys didn't pick up the pace, and the camera kept focusing on fucking Logan Paul the whole time, and I was like, who the fuck cares about Logan Paul right now? Seriously.
Yeah, that was my biggest complaint. Too much Logan Paul.
Too much Logan Paul. So because of that, the match got 3 stars out of me, and I was like, why are we focusing on Logan fucking Paul? Who cares about Logan Paul? In the middle of the match, switch to Logan Paul's face. And I was like, you forgot to show the move because you were focused on Logan Paul. The fuck? The next match was Sheamus versus Riddle. And that, for night 2, was one of the best matches of the night. It was actually hard-hitting, and it was really good. And Riddle really got his teeth kicked out. It was pretty fucking good. And I actually enjoyed it. And I would say that match was a 4-star match. It reminded me of literally Cesaro versus Seth Rollins, but with more violence. Those matches were equal to me in terms of matches that I cared about from bell to bell, because both of the people, or all 4 of the men in the ring, were really fucking good. So they literally showed their skills in the ring. Damn, even though the Sheamus versus Riddle match started off with something so fucking dumb. But whatever. I enjoyed the match.
Hey man, the right man won.
Right man won, and I hope Sheamus gets put in more matches like that. The match was so fucking good to me that I was like, oh shit, I wouldn't have cared or minded if that was the match that ended the night. But whatever. Then we got Apollo Crews versus Big E in a Nigerian drum fight, which in real life, for all you people that aren't racist like WWE, was a fucking hardcore match. Like a normal fucking hardcore match with shit around the ring. Did not give a fuck about this match in the slightest. I even stopped caring about 95% of the match in. Oh, not even 95. 1% of the match in, I stopped caring as soon as I saw all the shit around the ring. Because I was like, what the fuck is a Nigerian drum fight? I googled a Nigerian drum fight and found out it was a hardcore match. And it was like, somebody's going to fucking interfere. Apollo Crews is going to win. Sure enough, Dabakato interferes. Apollo Crews wins. And now,
hey man, Apollo is the right winner here.
Yeah, because if Apollo lost, I would have said, okay, obviously stop switching from Nigerian and go back to normal because you suck. But you know,
I don't mind his accent.
I do. It's so bad. But the match itself,
hey man, it shows to me that him doing the accent shows he's really embedded into the character. So you know what? And since he's actually from Nigeria, or parents are from Nigeria, or has Nigerian roots, I'm fine with it.
So is Kofi, but and Big E.
No, he has not. I think his parents are from Nigeria or some shit. Or
His parents are from Nigeria, but at the same time, so is Big E's parents.
Yeah, but Big E's not doing that gimmick.
Yeah, so. It's still a shit gimmick. I'm not even gonna fucking lie to you. It's just gonna be a shit
gimmick.
I
like the gimmick.
It's a shit gimmick.
I like the gimmick.
Hey.
I like the gimmick.
All right. All right.
Listen, it gives him character. He didn't have a character. It gives him character.
Whatever.
You don't have to like the accent as much, but
he could literally just take away the accent, and I think the joke would be better. But hey, to each his own on that one. The match itself was 2 stars, and I'm not even gonna fucking lie and say it was more than that. We got Rhea Ripley versus Asuka, and
didn't care.
Yeah, and Asuka's a match. I'd say it was a squash match for Asuka, because that match was just bad. Why did
I just didn't care about the match?
Whatever. It was a 2-star match, and that was the best it could do. And I did not care.
Yeah, because the crowd was fucking dead.
Yeah.
Because they showed the Randy Orton Fiend shit right before, as if people want to watch that shit again.
Yeah. Then we got the triple threat match, which was actually a really good match. I rather enjoyed the triple threat match at the very end. It was looking at it, it was 21 minutes of my fucking life. And I actually enjoyed the match. It was really good. It had some of the storytelling. They made you think each other people were going to win at some point. And then some people were just making some dumb choices, like Edge. I would say, Edge, why don't you concerto Roman Reigns first, of all people? But, you know, he concerto Daniel Bryan first, and Daniel Bryan had a seizure for like an hour and lost the match. After...
I'm starting to have issues with Roman's matches, though. They're all starting to end the same.
Yeah, with somebody interfering in his match?
With Jey Uso interfering in his matches.
Yeah, Jey Uso is not only a jobber at this point, but why does he keep interfering in these matches, bro?
Like, I understand it's for heel heat, but it's like every match has been literally the same.
Yeah. And
every match.
Yeah, it's getting stupid. And I thought I was the only one to notice that, but it's the same thing with The Miz when Maurice is there for a heel, how she interfered in every fucking match and didn't make no goddamn sense, but whatever.
Exactly. I don't know. I don't know why people I don't know why they think they have to. A heel has to have someone like a heel can cheat.
Yeah.
But literally, Roman's matches have been the same ending in every single. Like, if you want Roman to get over as a heel and do heel things, you can do that. But you have to have the whole Jey Uso coming in randomly out of nowhere after getting his ass with every fucking match. It's literally rinse and repeat at this point.
Yeah.
It's not even funny anymore.
Even the match between him and Daniel Bryan, he interfered in the match, even though he wasn't the enforcer. Like, what are you interfering in the match for, bro?
Yep.
That shit was weird, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Same shit.
But
I like Roman, don't get me wrong, he's doing good work.
Yeah.
Let me rephrase that. I like Roman's work. I'm not really a fan of Roman.
Yeah.
Still, but I'm liking his work. But literally his matches have been
the same.
There's a lot of trash talk, which is fine. All the matches have been fine. It's literally just the ending when it's like, okay, let's call in Jey Uso for Jey Uso to do his spot every single match.
And then Jey Uso gets beat up, and then Roman capitalizes on the person being distracted every single time.
Exactly. It's just gotten to a point now where it's like, all right, this is getting old. There are more ways to get heat on somebody other than just fucking doing the basic someone interfering tactic. It's been done.
Yeah.
Outside of that, this match, as far as I'm concerned, was great. It's just I'm tired of. Like I said, just think of more creative ways for Roman to win. To win is in the heel way. If you want him to have constant heel heat, I think Roman should be winning clean most times anyway, because he's Roman Reigns. He shouldn't have to rely on cheating. But if you want him to cheat just for the extra heel heat, that's fine, but do it in creative ways. Because this is not creative ways. It's just rinse, fucking repeat. Hello?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's pretty alright. That makes sense. Yeah, heel heat, whatever. But all in all, I'd say night 2 was 2 times worse than night 1. I actually had more entertaining moments in night 1 versus night 2, and I won't get over that shit. Now moving on. Let's have a quick conversation about that firing. Those firings, bro. How do you feel about all of those firings?
I mean, half those people were doing nothing anyway. So as far as I'm concerned, they should be happy they got rid. Like, don't get me, let me clarify. No one should lose it. It sucks people losing their job, pandemic and whatever.
Yeah.
Regardless, no one should be losing their job. But half of these people were. I mean, look at Tucker Knight. This man wasn't used at all in almost since Heaven Machinery broke up. You didn't even get a resolution of that. It's just he attacked Otis and that was it. Nothing else happened.
Yep.
Billy Kay? I mean, she wasn't good to begin with, and she wasn't really doing shit. But now she was starting to do a Damien Mizdow storyline, which no one wants to see. Because she started mimicking Carmella and shit at WrestleMania, which again no one wants to see. Peyton Royce, not underutilized. I mean, she wasn't that good anyway. She was better in NXT, but underutilized was she? She herself was underutilized.
Yep.
It's just, I mean, Bo Dallas, the man hasn't been on TV since 2019. Damn near 2 years.
Oh yeah,
the man's been sitting at home, doing real estate at home, getting a paycheck while doing nothing. The only one that I feel bad for, like legitimately bad for, because he was actually doing shit for the company, was Samoa Joe.
Which is weird to me.
Now, we don't know if Joe was like, fuck it, if you're not going to let me wrestle anymore, just let me go, or what have you. But the people who were released, Mojo Rawley, like, the legitimately has done nothing. It's like they were literally just on payroll, sitting around, doing nothing. And when you run a business, which WWE is a business, no matter how we may want to think about it, you gotta get rid of some of the fat. You have got to cut things that's not being used. It's not fair, for everyone else who's busting their ass. You got people busting their ass day in, day out, only just for the, not being used. And that's what they harp on. So, as far as I'm concerned, I think that, they should be, most of them anyway, should be fairly
happy, right?
Happy they got. Yeah, if they actually care about wrestling, then they'll be happy. If they don't care about wrestling and they enjoy doing this amount of work and getting a paycheck, then I mean, I'm sorry for you, but everybody runs a business.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna bring up the names and shit, and I'm gonna storyline wise, I'm gonna be like, well, they weren't doing anything, and I'm not saying that I cared about these people losing their jobs. I just was like, okay, cool. So starting with Billy Kay, of course, no one really cared. Wait, which one did we just see at WrestleMania? It was Billy Kay or Peyton Royce?
Billy.
Yeah, we just saw Billy Kay just doing his Damien Sandow gimmick again. It was the same shit over again. And I can honestly say it was like, okay, you have nothing for yourself, so obviously it's okay to go away. And she's gone. Samoa Joe is the one I was just like, why did they let Samoa Joe go? Clearly Samoa Joe was just at your freaking at your pay-per-view just calling the matches and making people look good or making the heels look bad. Like, what are you doing? Bo Dallas, you're right. He legitimately has not been on TV since, and exactly. And I know he cares about.
Years.
Yeah, I know he cares about wrestling.
But he's doing real estate now, so I mean, him and Liv Morgan, I guess, are together, and they live on a farm doing real estate. So I mean, again, like, everyone's so up in arms, and it's like these people weren't like, and that's not saying they don't work hard to get a spot, but they're not doing shit.
Yeah.
Like I said,
and Bo Dallas Tucker for Knight. Me, Bo Dallas for me, he should have been with his brother, but whatever.
Yeah, you have easy things for these people to do. Everyone, listen, there's a spot. There's a spot for everybody on a roster. It's all about creative and how you use it. WWE does not know how to use it. I'm surprised Aleister Black wasn't released, but apparently they got plans for Aleister Black. We'll see how those plans go. But, you know, I mean, for anyone's upset, just look at it like this. These people are, you know, they're basically, you know, they have a chance now to do what they actually love to do, and that is wrestle. If nothing else, you know, they can sit back and do what they like to do, and that is go out there and perform.
Yeah,
you know, get chances and not just be told something, you know, they can't do because of whatever reason. They want chances, they want opportunity, and they're not going to get them with WWE. So it's best they got released. Which is why WWE probably released them anyway. They weren't doing shit. You're not going to keep people on your roster not doing shit. It's not how that works.
Yeah.
Does it suck they had to lose their job and not be used? Yes. But it's happened, and you should look at it from, you know, in situations like this, you have to look at the benefits, because everyone saying, oh, it's a pandemic out here. Like, these wrestling companies, MLW, Ring of Honor, all these other, they're signing people. It's not like they're not signing people. You know, they're still doing shows. It's not like wrestling is fucking not performing. You know, every show right now, every, you know, big time, decent sized show is performing. Yeah. MLW, and all these other fucking places, they're all performing now. So, you know, shit. It's not a situation where it's like, oh my god, only WWE is performing. Like, you know, it was worse last year when things were still kind of being felt out.
Yeah.
But this is a whole different year. Things are more. They understand. The wrestling company understands what they're doing now in terms of how they're handling their COVID protocol. So all these people that got released, whether you like them or didn't like them or love them or not, don't worry. They'll all have jobs. It's not like they're not going to have a job.
Yeah, man. And I hope Bo Dallas actually does something with his life and his career. That is Kalisto.
Well, he's been doing real estate.
Oh, yeah. He's been doing real estate, which is fine. But
but the Lucid House part is still there, which is funny to me.
Yeah, Kalisto, when was the last time he was even wrestling on TV?
Exactly.
So yeah, I did not give a fuck.
Maybe the Andre the Memorial Battle Royal, maybe.
That doesn't count. Again, you know that doesn't count.
Yeah, but again, like you said, like I've been saying, half of these guys have not been doing much in terms of WWE on television. And if you're not on television, you know, it's almost kind of pointless even trying to, you know, you're not doing anything. Why if they're not doing anything, why keep them on the roster? Let them go do what they like to do.
Like Wesley Blake.
He hasn't been seen since.
Yep.
He hasn't been seen since Forgotten Sons got taken off TV.
Yep.
It's like Jackson Riker has a job and not them. Yes, but I mean, they found plans for Jackson Riker and they found nothing for him.
And what about the other
It's just
forgotten son?
he got fired a while ago.
Yep. But yet Jackson Riker is still on TV because they dropped a gimmick.
He's on TV because they found plans with him with Elias. That's it. That's how it is. Nothing. Nothing major. Just they found plans for him.
Yeah, I know, Mel. I know, bro. It just doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We lost Mickey James, which, at this point,
She wasn't doing anything.
She wasn't doing anything. Chelsea Green.
That didn't make any sense. You signed her, she got hurt, and then you don't even make plans for her upon her recovery. You just release her. That was stupid.
Yeah.
Another one that was surprising to me. She got hurt her first night, and you tell me you couldn't find plans for her?
Yeah.
Not one plan. She was hurt. She wasn't dead. She just was hurt.
Yeah.
Shit happens.
By the way, I wonder how Zack Ryder's feeling about that.
I mean, she looks happy. She put it on her Twitter. Welcome back to her old gimmick. So I mean, like I said, a lot of these wrestlers, man, half of them weren't even in WWE for a cup of coffee.
Yeah, and
Number
then
one. Number two.
Yeah.
Half of them aren't mad that they gotta go back to the Indies or back. I mean.
Yeah, like Tucker.
WWE.
I'm pretty sure he's good.
Well, he's already said he can't wait to tell his story, so I'm pretty sure he's going to go on some podcast soon and shit all over the company. But, a lot of these, professional wrestlers, a lot of them, WWE is their dream. It's their dream to go to WWE. But, when shit doesn't happen, if things don't work out, there's nothing wrong with just being like, all right. And it's not even your fault. Now, some people may have lower self-esteem than others, yes. Yeah. Or maybe really heartbroken over it. I'm not saying that they aren't. Because, they have friends in the company and this and that and that and this. But a lot of these guys who are indie talent, they'll just go back to their old gimmicks and they'll be perfectly fine and be better off for it. AEW now can capitalize on a woman like Chelsea Green. Peyton Royce, she'll probably go to AEW. Her husband's there.
Yep.
So, I mean, all these guys and girls, like I've been saying, they will, in my opinion, they will be all just fine.
Who's Casey Lee?
Mickey James, she'll probably go to NWA. Why? Her husband.
Oh, yeah. Oh, what's her name? Already changed her name. Oh, Peyton Royce already changed her name on Twitter.
Her thing has been relentless. Royce for a while.
Yeah.
She's been doing that relentless Royce shit for a while.
Yeah, it's Peyton Royce. Obviously, we talked about that. And then there's the one where I was like, did I really give a fuck when you were there? And that's Mojo Rawley, bro. I did not give a fuck.
Yeah, again, he'd have been released if it wasn't for Gronk being there.
Yeah.
He'd have been gone by the first set of people. He would have been gone.
Yeah, and at this point I was like, oh, okay, good. Thank you. Bye. Jesus, what were you even doing?
A lot of them were doing nothing, really.
Like, he especially was doing nothing. Like, what the fuck? Like, he won the 24/7 championship and then lost it, and then he literally disappeared after Gronk pinned him, and you never saw him again.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's really been a year. No, my bad. He was in a match against Shorty G when he was Shorty G.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. And is Lars Sullivan still with the company?
Who?
Okay, never mind. He's not. But yeah, and whatever, bro. Well, one day, bro. One day we'll see what happens, bro. But like I said, half of the wrestlers in this company or of this firing, while I believe it was fucked up, I believe it was fucked up that they not only fired these people literally a year later. I feel as though what they should have did something better, bro. But for me, we'll see what happens one day with some of these wrestlers, because some of these wrestlers do deserve a lot better. And I mean Bo Dallas and Samoa Joe, Mickey James, and of course Wesley Blake, Tucker Knight. The rest of them, I'm like, all right. Peyton Royce kind of just gonna go with her husband and call it a day. I would. And if I was Bo Dallas, I'd be like, yo, I have a real estate business. I'm good. So him and Liv Morgan are all right.
Yeah. Like I said, it sucks, yes. But as long as they took care of their money.
Yeah.
And everything, they will be, every single talent will be just fine.
Yeah. And some of them will get jobs somewhere else. Because some of them are actually...
All of them will get jobs somewhere.
Not all of them.
No. If Enzo Amore can get a job...
What is Enzo Amore currently doing?
He's wrestling on the indies.
Oh, okay.
Yes. He's out there. Like I said, they will all be fine. Unless they choose just to stop wrestling unless they just choose to, retire. But everyone... Listen, the one thing about WWE that a lot of these indie companies love is that when people get released, they can use these people for big name value, quote, quote, because these guys went to WWE. Therefore, they have name value. Like, you may see a Billie Kay in some random indie promotion.
Yeah.
And it'll be whatever her new wrestling name is, formerly known as WWE's Billie Kay, and that will draw some attention. Maybe not a lot. I'm just using her as an example, but may draw some attention to that particular indie show because her fans are going to go either order it or view it or go to the show and see it. So all these people, Peyton, Mojo, unless they themselves decide to stop wrestling, will be fine. It sucks that it happened. WWE are still scumbags. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that they're not. Yeah. But every single one of these guys and girls will be fine. It could WWE done better. I mean, they should have booked these people to begin with in proper stories. But WWE creative as shit. Samoa Joe, we don't know. He may want to wrestle, and WWE maybe didn't want to have him wrestle, and thus they decided to release him so he can go do what he wants to do. I mean, a lot of these guys that we don't know the stories, but a lot of these guys are probably ecstatic that they're not handcuffed by WWE.
Yeah.
If they love wrestling.
Yeah.
You're only young once. You're gonna keep getting older. These contracts, you're stuck in WWE for 5 years. Let's say if you're 35 and you got 5 more years in your contract and you're just sitting in catering until you're 40. I mean, that's 5 years of experience. That's 5 years of youth. That's 5 years of, just wasted. You're going to work and you're not even working. Some people will love that. I'm sure you, me, and everyone else would love to go to work, just sit around and make a hefty paycheck. But if you really love something and truly love what it is you're doing, you are going to want to do your job. Wrestling is a job that you don't do wrestling just as a job. You're doing it because you love it. Because why would you put yourself through those injuries and stuff if you didn't love the job?
Exactly.
So all these people, they may be content with doing it and may not care. They may like wrestling, but there are people who truly love it. Where money, some people just do it for the money. Yes, they'll put their bias through it, yes, but you still have to have some type of liking for wrestling to even decide to do that. Because some of these guys been content on sitting on their ass because they know they're not good, or know that it was an easy, once they got there and they realized they weren't being used, it was easy, so they just got content, probably so.
Yeah.
Some of them may just, when they got there and realized how easy it was, they can go home every day and not do shit and make more money than you and I combined.
Yeah.
But those who really love wrestling, really love being in the ring, they are the happiest right now because they're no longer handcuffed. They can go out there and make a name for themselves to a point where WWE might call them one day. They may go back to WWE and make even more money. Or AEW, which is, at this point, everyone loves AEW. So they all will be fine. It is, you got all these guys saying this is not about WWE, and this is true. WWE are scumbags. They're insensitive because it's literally 1 year to the day that you did Black Friday, or whatever they call it, Black Wednesday, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Yeah.
I've had some people ask me which do I think was worse. Last year was obviously worse than this year.
Yeah, because more people
last year. Well, it's not even that. Back then, last year, we really didn't have a handle on the pandemic.
Yeah.
In terms of wrestling wise, in terms of who's opened up, because a lot of companies really weren't open yet.
Yeah.
A lot of companies weren't really signing much at the time. In fact, 1 year later, does it suck? Absolutely. Do I want these people without jobs? No. But the wrestling world has found their niche in how they're handling the COVID protocols, with signings, with shows, with payment, whatever they're doing. So it makes it that much easier for each of these guys and girls after their 90 days is up to get jobs.
Yeah.
So, I'm not gonna, be too sad that they got released. Half these people, you would have probably forgot they were even fucking employed. Who remembered Bo Dallas was employed?
Yeah.
The casual fans like Bo Dallas, he was still employed. Mojo Rawley. The only ones who were employed were Billy Kay, Peyton Royce, and Samoa Joe. Chelsea Green, you saw her once. Yeah. You never seen her again. If you're a casual, you don't know she's injured.
Well, even she was like, well, I'm good.
Unless you follow her. What's the names? The only ones that anybody even knows off that list that they knew was still employed, if they're a casual anyway.
Yeah.
Samoa Joe, the Iconics, and that's about it. Kalisto, you haven't seen Kalisto in damn near 9 months. Mojo Rawley, it's been almost a year. Bo Dallas, I'm surprised he wasn't cut the first time.
His brother probably has something to do with it.
So, at the end of the day, I'm not going to be super sad that they all were, fired. This is good for them because they can now go do what they want to do, and that's wrestle. That's my thoughts on that.
Sorry about that. But yeah, you're right. I'm not super sad. I'm not super upset about this one. We'll see what happens. Because you're probably going to see, hey, this person appeared here, and this person appeared here. And WWE's going to do the same thing that happens every time. They get pissed, and then after some point, they're going to try to offer him a contract. Yep.
If these people, if they get big enough, and make WWE want them, WWE will go for them. that's how that goes. They would have to make WWE want them.
My only problem with that is, are you ballsy enough to be like, no?
Yes.
Like, do you have enough balls?
If you love wrestling, you're not gonna care about WWE's money. You've had WWE's money and what they do.
Yeah, that's my only issue with a lot of the wrestlers these days. I'm like, do you have enough balls to, instead of retaking that fucking that contract and be like, I want that sweet WWE money. Do you have enough balls to be like, nah, bro, good?
I think so.
Yeah, bro. I don't know, bro. We'll see what happens when half of the 90-day complete causes wear out. We will find that the fuck out.
Mm-hmm.
But that being said, I think it's good enough to end the night. Did you have anything else you want to say about the wrestling world? Or gaming or anything like that? Yeah, same here.
No, just want to go to the bathroom.
I mean, that would be a more interesting match than the tag team turmoil match.
Yeah.
But all right, man. You have a good one.
You too, man.
All right.